All right, give you guys an update on kind of the overall room addition, what I ended up doing, just to be a quick rundown for you. Um, so I'm doing a bedroom addition here in the living room, and so what I'm doing is I actually split this. This was all the living room, and now it is the living room and additional bedroom. So this will be a 3-1.5 because there's a bathroom in the basement. Anyways, so first step was just marking and measuring everything out and then demoing sheetrock. We got that done, had to demo the carpet. Unfortunately, I threw these pieces away, so I don't know that I'll be able to save this actually. To be honest, I might have to take this out and just put some LVP down. So I might put some LVP in this room. The carpet is still good, so I may see if I can find a little piece and then just staple it, glue it down. But, so this is what we got. We got everything roughed in. We got our framing done. Framing inspection is done. Because this was we had both of the lights running off of the one switch there. I added to separated them. And so what I did was I actually picked up one of these. This is a Treewell wireless switch. And it comes with 2 switches, 2 covers. And so what I did was I actually hardwired the receiver. I believe it comes with a backup battery as well, or UPS, inside this guy. And then I mounted the switch, it's a wireless switch as well. This is battery powered, but it saves having to demo all the sheetrock and this and that. Now, so that's the lighting. I got them separated. And because basically what was happening is they had this running on, it was running on like 14.3, and then they had basically caught the other line on here. So we got those all separated out. From there, I had to get power. So the way it works is you need to have a light switch. It needs to be 48 inches high. It needs to be within 3 feet of the door, I believe is what it is. So we got that done. That is good. An outlet box, you need to have a outlet every 6 feet on the wall, within 6 feet of every wall. So I got an outlet everywhere. This was the shortest run I could get for wiring, but also the almost as far as I could go. That's about, I think about 5 foot off the door. So I got that hardwired up. And basically I just pop down, and this actually ties into there's actually, for the light outside, that light there goes underground, comes into a conduit here, about right here in the block wall, comes out through the basement. And so I tapped into those, ran them into a junction box, and then came over here. And then obviously you got to have a staple within 12 inches of your box, I believe it is. I put it at 6, or just a couple inches there. Come through, and then pop through the conduit. Anything that goes through the floor needs to be going through a conduit. So we got that. So now, I got my insulation, R13, faced insulation. Now I need to go pick up, I got about 6 or 7 sheets of 1/2-inch sheetrock downstairs. And, but it's 1/2 inch. What I have on the wall is 3/8, or not 3/8, 5/8. So this is a little too skinny. The transition's not gonna be right. So I'm gonna go get some sheetrock, and then I'm gonna sheetrock the wall up, put the insulation in, sheetrock the other side, hang the door, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start mudding it, taping it, mud it again, then paint it. Then I can put my trim back on, put the door. This is actually, I believe this is an oak or a walnut door. This thing is super heavy. Got it for free. So that's pretty much it. And then this will be a legal bedroom. The window is already the proper size. And that's pretty much it. The other things that you'll need is you're going to need a smoke detector. So I picked up a 3-pack of smokes, battery operated, because I don't want to have to demo anything more, especially into the ceiling, and having to do sheetrock and drywall everything and then remud the whole ceiling and stuff like that just to get power. So if I had to hardwire a switch, I could, because I could just come up, come out, shoot over, and then come up. I'm not going to do that. I got my wireless one in there. So I do have the switches though. I do have extra switches and stuff like that. But and it wouldn't take me much to get that in there. So, but then if I do that, that means I'm gonna have to go up and go into here and hardwire into there. And this is actually like I believe it's a 2x10 or 2x12 double stacked beam. So to go through there, I would honestly have to go through here, through the floor, come back up, and then through there. And that would require a serious amount of sheetrock work. When I bought this house, this whole main level, all brand new cabinets, everything in this house is brand new when I bought it 3 years ago. Upstairs is done. It had new carpet, new shower, new toilet, new vanity. Obviously, it's a little bit dirty because I've been living here for the last 3 years. It's used, you know what I mean? It had all new ceiling fans, new paint, new everything was brand new in the main level. New flooring, new oven, new refrigerator. Upstairs, everything. Paint, drywall, everything. Had a new furnace put in. The only thing that wasn't touched was the water heater, which I replaced about 1.5 years ago. So that's got a brand new 50-gallon water heater. The furnace is brand new, and the only other thing that's not brand new is just the dryer, washer and dryer. They're like a if I had to guess, they're probably a 1970s, 80s model. So let's go down here real quick, because once I do that, the next step is to finish the basement and fence up the property. I need to do some flooring on the steps. Kind of a mess, but I need to strip these walls. I want to strip out all the sheetrock here in these bedrooms, redo the framing. I put a piece of sheetrock up here, 1/2 inch, actually fit no problem down here. So I think down here is already 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to utilize what I have. Down here, I got to do something with these. I fixed the drainage, so actually there is no leakage on this wall at all anymore. It used to, when it rained a lot, it used to flood and come through, and it would flood right here. Wouldn't flood, but there'd be water down here. I actually did buried downspouts, so it's been good for the last 2 years, 3 years. I did that in 22 in the fall. And I did that in 23, so about a little over 2 years ago. Never had any water down here ever again. So drainage is a huge thing, but this wall's kind of rough. So really, all the drywall I want to come out. I want all sheetrock coming out. So I want to see what's behind these walls, make sure everything's good. I want to do some recessed lighting while I'm in there. I want to get all the walls framed up. Now that I've fixed the drainage, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets of 1/2 inch sheetrock that I can use down here. I picked up a bunch of flooring that I got from I ended up giving to my mom. It was about 300 square foot worth. Now, sorry about the dryer. So this is the only thing that's not new down here, is the washer and dryer, and these have been holding up solid. This is a testament to old school quality right here. Obviously, this has probably just been refurbished. This is an old Kenmore. I don't know much about appliances like this, but I'm kind of getting into it a little bit. But now that I got my electrical diploma and stuff like that, kind of getting into the electronics a lot more, and just working in industrial maintenance, the last bit. So anyways, so what I was saying was that cable actually comes from outside, and they had power coming. They got everything into this. This is coming into this light, and then it just kind of branches off, feeds off, right? So they got power that comes through, and it was actually this cable was actually tied into there, and that was it. So what I did was I added a box up top. I ran that cable in there, jumper and everything, tied in there, and then I ran my cable over. I had put a couple holes in there, stapled everything up, came over, you can see my conduit, goes up, feeds the outlet. And I also added a light in here. So now you got a light as well. That additional light helps big time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna run this over. I'm gonna run one more, I'm gonna put another light right here. And then what I wanna do is put an exhaust fan in here. And then put a little shower because everything is already actually plumbed up. Under this parts wash sink, there's actually a drain here. You can't see it, but replace the vanity. I would like to frame everything up, but I think, you know what? For the mechanical room, I don't think I'm gonna frame up in here just because there's so much in here between duct work, gas lines, all that type of stuff. So that's pretty much it. That's how I did the electrical. There's not too much more I want to do other than just upgrade the panel itself, you know, and finish this basement, get some flooring down here, get fresh sheetrock, fresh paint, get everything framed up down here. And then, yeah. And then the other thing would be like either a sub panel or upgrade the panel. Behind this panel is a mess. I mean, it's definitely, I think I could do a better job, to be honest with you. So, but that's another product for another time. I'm just waking up, so I'm gonna get up, get cleaned up, and that's pretty much it. So I'm excited to get this finished up. We'll get this finished up and get an inspection, and hopefully it can bring some value to my house. Probably get me into a little bit higher home value, so that's for sure. But I'm gonna have to sheetrock and mud all this up. Sheetrock I got just a little too skinny, it's 1/2 inch. I'll just show you what it looks like. So when you set it up there, you can see there's a big gap between 1/2 inch and 5/8. See that? Too skinny. So we will resolve that by going to Home Depot and spend about $120 on some sheetrock. Actually, it's drywall. Sheetrock is the brand. Or maybe I got it flipped around. I'm not a sheetrock guy. I've seen some sheetrock guys on the job site though. Those guys don't mess around, man. I ain't never seen nobody slang up some sheetrock so fast in my life. What you'll need for this type of project, you're gonna need all your standard electrical connectors. You probably want an oscillating tool, a multi-tool. You're definitely gonna need an impact or a screw gun or drill. I did replace this box as well. This one was it's just an old box. You can tell by the sticker. And it just wasn't holding in there securely, so I went ahead and replaced it. I got a bunch of electrical extra parts, you know, spare breakers and stuff like that. I basically only have room for one more breaker in that panel. It's like I believe it's an 80 amp service. It's a really small service for this house. Tamper resistant. I got a couple of these guys. Just spare, you know, just it's good to have some spare stuff around. Nail plates, switches. Here's a nicer switch there. I like the nice bright white ones. I don't like the old school cream. I believe it's what they call it. I'm not a fan of that old dingy cream look. It just, I don't know. I'm a younger guy, so I want modern, right? I'm not interested in that. So I got a couple extra 3-way switches. Wago connectors. I got the 2s, the 3s, and the 5s. Do you need all this stuff? No, you don't. Extra nail plate. That was actually behind this wall. I got a combo switch. And so everything needs to be tamper resistant as well. If you're working in a bathroom, outdoors, basement, anything like that, you should have GFCI. Here's the original smart switch that I picked up. This one I had actually bought because I thought it was this one. So what I was looking for was a wireless receiver with the switch. I bought this from Home Depot. I think they're like 20 bucks. This is actually just a smart switch, and that's it. It's not, there's no receiver with it or anything like that. This is just programmable through an app, and you can control your lighting and stuff like that. This is not what I was looking for. I'll probably just hold on to it because I got it, but not really what I was looking for. You know, just extra parts and stuff like that. This guy was actually the wrong box. This is more like to go in between studs, right? So old work, I believe, is what that is. Basically everything is old work, but some conduit strapping. I got another thing of conduit down there as well. This one I actually salvaged. This is a ceramic light fixture. It's from Leviton. This is old school, made in the U.S. I cleaned this up, so I got an extra one of those. So technically, I don't need to go buy another one. But what I do like is, so this I actually took, because I wanted to make this a rental property. And I was watching one guy, Troy Kearns, on YouTube, and he was talking about, you know, not having ceiling fans in the, you know, and stuff like that in rental properties, not having carpet, not having dishwashers. And to me, it just made sense. So when because I had to pull this whole ceiling fan down, you know, just to get in there. And the amount of stuff that you have to take apart, it's not terrible, but it's quite a bit. So I ended up actually adding this LED light, which is the same one I added in the basement below here for an extra light. And this thing is actually pretty bright. So, and it also changes too. So that's pretty cool as well. It's got 3 different light. I'll show you. It's got 5K. So you can go super bright like a blue. I run it in the middle because it's more natural. And then you got like the dim, like, not dim, but it's, I don't know what that is. It's got 5K, 3K, and like some 2700 or something like that. This is just more of a natural light. So that's what I run. You're gonna need some 5-pin Wagos if you're working with like 14.3 and 14.2, making connections between the two. I definitely recommend you get a N95 mask because when you're dealing with sheetrock, it's a lot of dust. This is 14.3. Now, let me tell you, if you don't know about wiring and cabling, it is expensive. Okay, copper is expensive. This was like, I think like 50, 60 bucks for a 14.3, 25 footer. Just NM cable. Actually, this is UF, so. But, yeah, it's expensive. This one was about 200 and something bucks. This is a 250 foot roll of 14.2. This I was able to trace out every wire in my house with, so it comes in handy just to have like a 50-foot piece of wire, you know. If you know what you're doing, you cut the power off and you don't know where everything's at. Like there's a lot of connections in this one. So I was able to label, that's why I have a labeler here. I was able to label every single wire and my panel as well. I got everything labeled up behind this wall, every outlet, every switch, every breaker, everything upstairs, downstairs, that outlet, this one, this one. I know where every wire goes from end to end. Okay, this one, the bedrooms, everything. I know where everything goes in this house now. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. One thing I will say about electrical safety, get you an extra set of leads. Okay, it's important to inspect your equipment, especially when you're dealing with when you're dealing with anything more than 24 volts, right? Okay, not just control circuits, but like in the automotive world, right? You're dealing with 12, 24 volts, excluding hybrids and EVs. I was helping my brother. His alternator went out. Well, I got all my work done in the house as far as electrical for the most part, but you can see here, one of my cables actually is my hot cable. No, it's my ground cable. My cable actually got on the exhaust manifold right here. You can probably see that right there. See that? Burnt. So just carry yourself an extra set of leads, because something like this could really get you hurt when you go to check something live, right? You don't want to be checking voltage and you're not, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest things they stressed when I was doing electrical training, or just work in general at a big industrial plant where you're dealing with super high currents and stuff like that, and potentials. You really need to make sure you're inspecting your meters and your equipment, using the right settings. You really need to know what you're doing. You don't want to mess around with this type of stuff. 12 volt get you a little, okay, wake you up a little bit, okay. But when you're talking about 120 volts, 240, 480, it's serious stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the cable I use. This is actually trimmed down because I didn't want to keep cutting off the roll, but this is basically the wire that I used. This is the cable that I used to connect from one end to the next end, one to the next, all the way across the house and downstairs. That even got me from behind the door. It got me upstairs all the way to the outlet on the other side here to behind the door to trace power. And I traced everything. So I know where everything is at here. I know where everything is at in this house. So the one back there, all these guys, I know where everything's at here. So yeah, this is kind of just an update. I'm going to finish this up today is the plan. It's Saturday. I just finished up my electrical trade diploma yesterday. So I'm super excited about that. Got my residential HVAC. I also have my EPA certification. So I'm just kind of taking a break from schooling today, and I'm just going to go ahead and finish up some of my projects and just kind of organize up and clean up around the house, just for clarity, and just kind of chill out. So it's too cold to go ride mountain bikes. I went to Colorado and rode some mountain bikes out in Denver. It was like 70 when it was like 70 up there for like 3 days. Well, for the whole week. But I was only up there for a few days, and it was 70 degrees. I went out, rode some mountain bikes. I came back here. The wind was blowing like 50 mile an hour. It was like 10 degrees out. I was like, oh my goodness. Anyways, we're going to get this. I'm basically in just the finished stages. This has basically been done. I got an inspection I want to say a week or two ago for the framing before I went out to Denver. And yeah, it's basically it, He said everything looks good. The only thing you need is a smoke detector in every bedroom. So I got a 3-pack, one for this one, that one, and the upstairs. And then you also need carbon smokes. So carbon smokes, you need one for every level. So this level, upstairs level, and downstairs. I already got one downstairs. The carbon smokes are expensive. I mean, they're expensive. But I also went with the 10-year battery on these just so I could avoid ripping out and demoing any more sheetrock. I do not want to tear out any more sheetrock than I have to on this main floor or upstairs, because this is a finished product and it still is in good shape. So I only want to do what's necessary, which is just to add this bedroom, and that is it. Everything else in this main level and up, the only thing it could be is just the carpet, and the carpet's still in good shape. That's later down the road. If a guy decides he wants to do LVP all the way through here at hardwood, that would be about the only upgrade I'd be doing on these main levels. Other than that, it's just finishing up a bedroom and finishing the basement, fence up the property, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, after that, a lot of the switches they didn't upgrade, so they're kind of dingy. So I'll probably end up upgrading all these just so they look clean. But, you know, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Got a lot of work to do, so let me get to it.